I'm going to be making a Mediterranean tart, which is very simple to make and you don't need too many ingredients. To start with, you're going to need a Jus-Rol ready rolled short crust pastry sheet, a courgette, a red onion and a red pepper, some pesto, some goat's cheese, a few black olives and a few cherry tomatoes. And finally an egg with which you're going to glaze the pastry to give it a lovely golden colour. First of all, unroll the pastry sheet straight onto the baking tray. Now you'll have noticed that I have lined my baking tray with baking parchment. This helps at the end of the cooking time to easily serve it onto the serving plate. Now we take some pesto and you put a couple of decent spoonfuls onto the centre and then spread that in a nice even layer over the centre of the pastry sheet, making sure you do leave a good border all the way round. Then take a courgette and just take the two ends off and then cut the courgette into 3 or 4 lengths depending upon the size, and then you're going to cut these into sticks. Then we take an onion. Now I'm using a red onion because I think they have a particularly good flavour and also they look very, very pretty. And then peel off the outer skin. And the important thing is whenever you're slicing an onion to cut it in half first so that you're putting a flat side down onto the board. And then using a good sharp knife with your fingers protected from the blade, just slice thinly back like that. You take these first 2 ingredients and sprinkle them haphazardly over the pesto. And the other important thing is that you do spread all the ingredients in an even layer. Because as you can imagine, if you were to pile them all into the centre, when it comes to baking, that bit won't bake as evenly as the ones around the outside, and so those would be raw or uncooked. And then, probably because these are fairly good-sized red peppers, we start with half a red pepper, or it could be just a small one. And I'm literally just going to cut this into strips, much as you would for doing a stir-fry, say. Sprinkle those across, and then take a few cherry tomatoes. I'm using cherry tomatoes because they're so lovely, and they look really good just halved. Distribute these evenly over the top of the tart area. And now we take some goat's cheese, and this is particularly good for breaking into nice pieces. Again, place these evenly over the top of the filling. And finally, top with a few black olives, pitted preferably. By using a beaten egg, whenever you're doing any pastry work, it gives it a particularly golden colour and a nice shine. Take a pastry brush and whiz round the edges here with the beaten egg. And then, to make the tart walls, all you do is pinch up the sides of the pastry. And by putting that little bit of egg wash, it means that the pastry will stick to itself and hold up. And then for a final touch, we nip round the edges of the pastry again with the beaten egg. And now we put it into the oven to bake. And short crust pastry bakes at 200 degrees centigrade or gas mark 6, and that would take about 20 minutes. Beautiful golden colour, and the vegetables looking absolutely gorgeous. Just slide it onto the serving plate. Get rid of that. Now a nice touch to finish this is to go back to the pesto and drizzle just a little, not a lot, but just a little over. And this of course is excellent eaten on its own, or you could serve it with a salad.